Let us consider the differential amplifier. As we know that the cascaded direct coupled amplifiers, they provide high gain at zero frequency, but they are having the major problem that there is drift of operating point and this drift is due to the temperature dependency of various parameters, just like say ICO, that is the leakage collector leakage current, or BB, base emitter voltage, as well as HFE, that is the gain of the transistor. So in order to overcome this problem, balanced or differential amplifier is usually preferred. Now such a differential amplifier, it is shown in this figure, which consists of two NPN transistors Q1 and Q2, and their emitters, they are tied together and connected to some coupling resistor RE and given to the negative power supply voltage. The collectors through RC resistors or collector resistors, they are also tied together and given to positive terminal of the power supply, and the inputs are provided to the bases of these transistors, say maybe V1 input for Q1 transistor, V2 input for Q2 transistor. In order to see the working of the differential amplifier, we will have to consider various cases, in which we can consider case 1. We can consider the case 1 as the input voltage V1 is equal to input voltage V2, and that is equal to VCM. That means we are providing the input voltage for Q1 transistor through base B1, that is also similar to input voltage V2, which is provided to base B2 of Q2 transistor, and we consider it in terms of a single input source, just like shown by this figure, in which we will connect these two terminals. That means bases of the both transistors will be considered, and will provide here the input that we will call it as VCM. Now in this case, as B1 is connected to B2, there is also symmetry in the circuit, and symmetric, that means the resistors are same, that means RC value is same. There is no problem of this emitter resistor, as it is single resistor. The beta of both the transistors, they are same, and mostly as we know that the differential amplifiers, they are used as the basic stage of operational amplifier, which is on the integrated circuit. So the ambience of the two transistor, it is also same, and therefore temperature is almost same, the resistors are also same, the beta, that is gain of the transistor amplifier, it is also same, and therefore we maintain this symmetry. And by considering this symmetry, we can consider that the circuit, which will be divided into two halves, and each half will work very similar. That means, as we are considering, suppose through Q1 IE current is flowing, Q2 emitter there will also be IE current flowing, and from Q1 emitter as a collector IC current is flowing, so from Q2 collector IC current is also flowing. As the emitters, they are tied together for both of them, so there will be multiplication of current, that will be twice IE, as the individual transistor emitter is given with the current of IE. So what will be the actual working? As the both the transistor, they conduct, so Q1 transistor, it will be on, Q2 transistor will also be on, and now the voltages will be same for each side. Now if we consider the collector side loop, so the individual output is taken across the collector of each transistor. Say for Q1 transistor it is VO1, and say for Q2 transistor it will be VO2. So if we consider this loop, output loop or collector loop of Q1 transistor, so we can write as say VO1, that is the output voltage at the collector of Q1 transistor, that will be equal to VCC minus IC RC. This is simply by applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law at the output loop. And as we know that the IC, that is in terms of IE, it is alpha into IE, and alpha value, we know that alpha is almost equal to 1 or less than 1. So we can consider this as IC is equal to alpha into IE, and therefore we can write VO1 is equal to VCC minus alpha into IE into RC. So you can also use the same analogy for the second transistor also, and we will get the voltage VO2 is equal to VCC minus alpha into IE into RC. As VO1 is same as VO2, so what is the difference between VO and VO2? So that will be given by VO1 minus VO2, that is equal to 0. This means as and when we provide the common mode signal to both the inputs inputs B1 and B2, similar voltage signal is applied. So the difference between VO and VO2, that is equal to 0. and actual we will measure this VO in between these two. So this VO can be measured as VO1 minus VO2, that is equal to 0. That means though common mode signal is provided, we will be having the output voltage difference, it will be equal to 0. That means differential output voltage that is equal to 0. So this is the first case which rejects the common mode signal. Now let us consider the case 2. Now here we will consider that V1, that means the input at B1 terminal, it is equal to plus 1 volt, and V2, that means the second input provided at the Q2 transistor, that is equal to suppose 0 volt. Now in this case what will happen, the transistor Q1 is at higher potential than transistor Q2, so Q1 will conduct and Q2 will remain off. Now if we consider the emitter terminal, common emitter terminal E, so what will be the potential at this E point, which is common to both the emitters? Now let us look at the left side of this circuit. That means the voltage drop across base emitter terminal, it is equal to 0.7 volt, and if we are not considering anything here, that means this is 1 volt, out of which 0.7 will be consumed here and 0.3 voltage will be remained at E. So voltage at point E, or voltage drop at this point E, it is equal to 0.3 volts, which is not sufficient for this another transistor, as the base is grounded here, as the base of this transistor it is grounded. That means yes, like this, say V2 is equal to 0, that means base is grounded. So as the base is grounded, here voltage available will be 0.3 volt, which will not be sufficient to conduct the another transistor. So Q2 will remain off and Q1 will conduct. So what will be the output voltage at Q2 collector? So Q2 collector voltage, it will be almost VCC voltage. So I will consider this VO2 is equal to VCC voltage. And what will be the voltage at VO1? So VO1, it is equal to VCC minus ICRC, and we consider that IC, it is equal to alpha into IE. So that will be VO1 is equal to VCC minus alpha into IERC. So these will be the two voltages at the collectors of both the transistor. That means wherever we are applying say 1 volt at B1, so we will be getting output VO1 is equal to VCC minus alpha into IERC, and the second transistor remains off because of there will be no base voltage applied, and therefore it will be giving us the output voltage of the collector available due to this VCC. So this will be the difference between the two outputs, say VO1 minus VO2. There will be no similarity, so there will be some differential output will be coming across this case 2. Let us consider case 3. In this case, we will consider, say, V1 is equal to minus 1 volt and V2 is as expected in last case, it is considered as 0 volt. So naturally what will happen, say here V1, as it is having the negative potential, that means minus 1 volt, so the transistor Q1 will not conduct, and as Q1 is not conducting, still there will be the voltage drop of this minus 0.7 across this base emitter voltage. So the same drop will be available for this point E, where the both emitters are tied together. So the voltage available for this, it will be minus 0.7 volt, which will be available for this Q2 emitter, and due to this voltage the Q2 will conduct, or Q2 will be on and Q1 will be off. As Q2 conducts, there will be current flowing through this side, that means from collector to emitter to this negative power supply voltage, and therefore this Q2 will be on and Q1 will be off. So as and when we have the difference between the two input signals, say V1 and V2, if they are not same, at that time either one of the transistors will conduct. So we can say in a way that the differential amplifier, it provides the response to differential inputs. That means whenever there is difference between the two inputs, it will provide us the output, whereas it will reject the common mode signals, and that is what we expect from the differential amplifier. That means we are expecting that the differential amplifier should provide a very good response to the differential inputs, and it should reject the common mode signal.